What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Joe, here at the NZR, and I got a special one for you today. It's going to be the top 10 defensive player rankings, IDP style, here in 2019. Most YouTubers don't put out IDP rankings, but that separates me from them. So I broke it down for you, give you the top 10. If you're not familiar with IDP, I'm going to do a tutorial that explains it, but this isn't your top 10 defensive players. Statistically, these guys are going to be proven in the fantasy world here soon, here in about a month and a half. So enjoy it. We're going to start off with number 10. This guy was actually number 1 last year, and it's going to be DARIUS LEONARD from Indianapolis. So LEONARD had about 309 fantasy IDP points last year. That's about 50 more than anyone else, averaged 20 a game. I still have him in the top 10, as you see right there at number 10. I have him more around that 220, 225 point mark this year. In about 15, 16 games, I believe he sat a game out. But this is a really good Indianapolis defense. They're going to take a little bit away from him, but a smart guy. And like I've said in previous videos, he's going to be one of those linebackers that are going to be in the league for a very long time, making a difference and being the face of that position. So no harm, no foul. Still a great player. Remember, Khalil Mack's not even in this list, so it's an honor to be in the top 10 in IDP world, and he is. He's at 10. Let's go to number 9. Okay, so I have Hunter moving up to 9 this year. He was 15th overall last year with just over 200 points. I believe it was 205.6, but that's about 12.9, 13 points a game. Phenomenal defensive player, defensive end, more specifically in Minnesota. You want to pick this guy up. He's a game changer, and he's going to give you a bunch of points down the stretch. That Minnesota defense is great, and he's a big reason why. So he cracks the top 10. He's at 9. Let's slide to 8. Okay, so CJ Mosley pulls in there at number 8. This guy's taking the biggest jump out of anyone on my list by far. I believe he was 62nd overall on ESPN IDP rankings last year, but it's still over 162 points. He has a new team now with the New York Jets. I really like this guy at the linebacker spot. Project him to give you about 16 to 17 a game, if not more. Big season for him, I believe, and maybe a big part of that Jets having success on the defensive side of the ball, because offensively, I think they're going to do that much better with Le'Veon Bell. So clock him into your top 10, more specifically at 8. Let's slide to 7. So it looks like we got another linebacker with Blake Martinez. Heavily used, very reliable guy there in Green Bay, and definitely a productive IDP player, and somebody that you might want to reach for because you're going to get 225 plus points from him this year. I'll put my money on it if he stays healthy. So he gave about 225 last year with 16 games, about 14.3 a game, and high time leader and a top 10 guy in my book, and been a top 10 guy for a while. So he's at 7. Let's go to 6. Okay, so it's not a question if Joey Bosa is a top 10 guy. He is. It's just, can he stay healthy long enough to show it? I don't even know where he was ranked last year. 300, 400th overall in IDP leagues. Couldn't stay healthy, but when he is, and when he can give you 15, 16 games, this is a top 10 guy. There's not even a question about it. So expect 225 to 230 points overall in the entire season, and give him anywhere between 14 to 17 a game. Definitely a playmaker, definitely a guy LA wants the whole year. He's at 6. Let's crack that top 5. So I'm putting my money on Deion Jones. He just got a big contract a couple hours ago, and Deion Jones is going to be very productive. It's a perfect bye week for the Atlanta Falcons, so I expect him to stay healthy. I believe they're right there at the 9-week bye, which is awesome. I've seen this guy go as high as 3 and as low as 8 or 9, but Deion Jones definitely somebody who's going to be in that top 5 defensive IDP category this year, and I would expect anywhere between 230 to 250 points, and totally turn that Atlanta defense around here in 2019. So he's the first one at number 5. Let's go to 4. The always reliable, always dependable J.J. Watt. Another big year for him. He was 6th last year. I have him to 4th. Obviously, one of my higher defensive ends. 230 to 250 points this year, anywhere between 15 to 16 and a half points a game. I love J.J. He makes that defense whole. He's the captain there in Houston, and he's going to be a top 5 IDP fantasy football player in 2019. So he's at 4. Let's go to 3. Big Aaron Darnold. He was at number 3 last year in that 3rd spot. He's at 3rd spot this year. He's the highest defensive tackle on the board, but 244.7 IDP fantasy points last year. I got him at about 260 this year, so a great year. And we know what Aaron Darnold can do, so he's going to give you about 16.5 to 17 points a game, and I think he's there 1 through week 17. He's a pretty durable kind of dude, and he's going to be really fun to watch right there in the tackle position. So Aaron Darnold stays in that 3rd spot. Great year for him. Let's go to 2. Luke Kuechly. When he's not hurt, man, he's so much fun to watch, and I think he's going to have a very healthy season there at the linebacker spot, anywhere between 265 to 275 fantasy points in IDP League this year, about 17 to 18 a game. This is pretty much just a number one guy. He's going to make you that much better, and he's going to make Carolina that much better. Again, doesn't alter from that second spot. He was there last year as well. So he's up there. Number one, obviously last year was Darius Leonard, and it's not Darius Leonard this year. It's going to be the number one linebacker in 2019, Bobby Wagner, also the IDP leader, head honcho, king of the hill. Give him 305 to 315 points here in the upcoming season, 16 games. I'll give him 22 to 25 points a game on average. Again, so much fun to watch, and this is the number one overall pick in my book and in some other people's books that I've seen around the web. So I like Bobby right there. He leads in this category in the top 10 IDP defensive players of 2019. Okay, so that was pretty short and sweet, and I do have the two winners for the Amazon gift cards. I had 48 entries, and the consensus was that Josh Allen is going to be the Rookie of the Year on the defensive side of the ball. I believe in that as well, but one of the winners didn't believe in that, but they articulated their point pretty well. So 48 entries. Thanks everyone for messaging me and letting me know. I'm going to have more of these giveaways in the future, so stay tuned, subscribe, follow along, and stand by for the questions. Again, thanks for watching this video. If you don't agree, please leave it in the comments and tell me where you guys think these defensive players will land, and if I'm missing anyone in that top 10, I want to know to make my list even better. Okay, well, I'm Joe. This is the NZR. Stand by for future videos next week. I'm bringing out 2 more, and you're definitely going to love them. So until then, so long, guys.